Hey guys, this is Vanngo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I invite the beautiful Charlene Amavis here to lend her canvas for me to create another video for you. This is the look we came up with. I hope you enjoy the look. Give the channel always a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to follow Charlene and me on Instagram as well. Thank you so much for watching. To start every makeup, I always prep skin first. The first product I use is Laneige lip balm. This is one of my favorite lip balm to prep under makeup. They do give a little sheen, so if you apply a matte lipstick, you can always blot out the sheen first so it doesn't change the texture. The second product I'm using is Shu First Care Activating Serum. This is also one of my favorite serum. It is really beautiful and it's great under makeup as well. You can press in the skin or you can rub it on, but the best way to apply serum is do the way I do right now. It just really press the products in. Next product I'm using is the concentrated ginseng renewing eye cream. I use a little bit under the eye area. I also apply a little bit on the eyelid. I like to really hydrate the skin everywhere. If it's too much, you can always blot it off after, but just really let the product soak in. It's really hydrating the skin, really depuff the skin before you start makeup. The next product is also from Shu. It is the concentrated ginseng renewing face cream. This is one of the most beautiful face cream that I use, to be honest, and it's great to use under makeup as well. It does give a lot of shine and it's quite a rich moisturizer. If you like something lighter, this is definitely not the one for you, but I like moisturizer, always a bit more richer, and then if it's too much, again, I can always blot it off before I apply makeup. Always give your face a little massage, depuff the skin, take out all little knot that you feel on the face, because that from all the expression you make every day. For complexion, I'm going to use Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. I purchased 2 shades of the foundation. So this is the closest from 2 shades that I got with Charlene's skin tone. So I hope it's pretty close. This is the newest foundation that Lisa created. It is actually beautiful, beautiful foundation. It is to me more a medium to buildable full covered foundation, more a natural finish, and I believe it's more a self-setting. If you want more dewy finish like the way I do, you just have to apply the moisturizer a little more. You want less, just a bit less moisturizer. So you can adjust the foundation texture according on the moisturizer or primer you use. Charlene have amazing skin. I'm not gonna put too much on. Just she have a little redness, but that's why we cover with concealer. I don't want to cake her whole face up with foundation because this foundation is actually give really good coverage. And you see that I only use a little bit and it's covered really well so far. As you can see, I use more a thicker moisturizer, so it's give me more a dewier finish. But this foundation, you can achieve a beautiful natural finish if you just use regular amount of moisturizer, not too heavy the way I do. But the coverage is really good, and I didn't want to cover too much, but I think if I want to cover more, I just add a little more. But it looked quite seamlessly on the skin and quite a beautiful foundation. You definitely should check it out for sure. For concealer, I chose two different shades of concealer. A peachier concealer I'm gonna use under the eye area, a little bit on the forehead, the bridge of nose, around this area. The deeper concealer shade is similar to the foundation from Lisa Eldridge. That one I'm using to pinpoint any redness that Charlene have to even out the skin even more. And both the concealer is from Rose Inc. It is a gorgeous concealer. It's more creamy. It's really beautiful. I took it out on the palettes here. To start, I used the lighter peachier concealer under the eye area. Again, you don't have to do the way I do at all. I purposely chose the color a little lighter under the eye. I think for under the eye, sometimes a little peachy concealer is actually cover really well for you. It's brighten up the area and it looks so much brighten. Look at me. Put a little bit there, and then a little bit this area, the nose, and I blend it out. This is such a beautiful and creamy concealer. If someone who doesn't like to wear too much foundation, this concealer alone will give you a great coverage, and you can use the same concealer, just blend it out without using foundation. I think it's a great way for someone who just wear one product instead of wearing both. Next, I'm using an eyeliner brush like this, just pinpoint anything that I want to cover more. This shade that we use is pretty close to the foundation shade, and that's always the tips that I'm trying to recommend people. You use a lighter concealer shade for the under eye, but for cover acne or any red mark, it's better to choose a shade that really close to your foundation, so all the flaws doesn't look too pronounced. It's all gonna blend seamlessly together. Right now you can see the concealer shade so close to the foundation. That's why it looks so seamlessly together when I blend it out. And I put just a little more around the mouth area here. It's just because Charlene have a little color, more a little darker around that area. And I find that's happened a lot with people who have olive skin and deeper skin. They tend to have it more around the mouth. It's the color always just a little more deeper. And the same shade concealer, I'm just pinpoint throughout the face. And I know there's so many questions about how to apply foundation or cover acne, and I do it on many videos. but there's no fat trick. It's always taking your time to pinpoint to cover acne. Unless you want really heavy coverage of foundation, then you can cover just all once like that. But for me, you can use beautiful natural coverage foundation and then you pinpoint all the area you want to cover. There's no fat trick for me. Even myself do makeup for a long time, I still taking my time to even the skin and to cover the skin. And if you want that flawless effect, you have to spend the time on that. Another trick I mentioned many times, if you don't have the exactly concealer of the foundation, after you conceal the acne or any flaws, you can use the foundation brush or sponge you used earlier, and you just go and over top of the concealer. You just pinpoint. That way it does help to blend in together. Instead, just leave it like hanging the color like that and then powder them. You will see all those light dots that you just put on. I'm going to use bronzing stick from Rare Beauty. The name of the shade I'm using is Full of Life. It's a new bronzing stick they have. I'm sure you can use this for contour, but it's basically just a beautiful texture, similar to the texture of the melting pot blush that she have. So it's really easy to melt into the skin. I'm using a tiny bit deeper shades, just give Charlene that more sculpted look. And if someone who just want this, just a little hint of color, you can use a lighter shade, but I just use a little deeper, just really scooped out everything. But because the texture is similar to her blush, melting blush texture, that's why it's so easy to blend and I love it. I'm filming this video in advance, so I'm not sure when we launch this video, but I believe the blush gonna launch on the 3rd week of December. So if this come out that week, you can definitely check it out. And it's just really beautiful and easy to blend. You can use directly into the skin and blend it out, or you can use the finger, the brush. I'm using the brush that come with that, but you can use the finger as well. I just did the same. Just keep Charlene on this side, a little color, more sun-kissed like. What I'm going to do as well is the same brush, same bronzing stick. I just do a little bit on the side, very little, not too much. For powder, I'm going to use the setting powder from Rare Beauty. This is the new powder they have. I'm using 2 shades. The first shade I'm gonna use is light. I'm setting all the area that I use the peachy concealer. And the second shade I'm using is light medium. They come out with 6 different shades, same as the bronzing stick they have. It's quite inclusive with all different skin tone that can use them. This powder is really natural finish. It is very finely milled and talc free, and it still gives you a little sheen left, not too matte like most of the powder, and it still gives you that healthy glow still. I said 6 shades, it's actually 5 shades. I make a mistake. I'm going to use a little bit of the powder to do some baking under the eye as well. It's the light shade that I'm using. Not too much, just a little, because she doesn't need it. So I dust off all the baking powder I use. You see, it still give you that brightening at the bottom here, and it's very radiant powder. I don't want to leave it too long because I just want to bake a tiny bit. If you want a bit more fuller, then you can just leave it longer. I didn't want Charlene to look overly baking on the eye. The next product I'm using is the Too Faced bronzer. I'm using a reference brush like this. And this, what I'm doing, is just a little bit at a time, and I just set the area that I used the bronzing stick from Rare Beauty earlier. Again, you don't have to do it the same way I do. You don't have to use the bronzer to set it, but I usually like to do all these steps, and then you can decide what you want to take it from or you don't want to do. It's up to you. And do the same on the other side. For brows, I'm going to use two products from Anastasia Beverly Hills. The eyebrow width, and this one is a brow marker. Both of them I'm using shade taupe. Keep in mind that for someone like Charlene, you automatically gonna use a shade like brown or dark brown, but I generally like the eyebrow a lot lighter. If I do the eye strong, I keep the eyebrow pretty light, so I try to use the shades a little lighter always. Again, it's personal preference. Some people like really dark eyebrow. So if you want dark eyebrow, you can use dark brown or any shade you want. I like to keep the eyebrow very soft and then stronger eye. That way it looks to you way more soft and approachable. For the eyebrow, the way I do is I brush the brow backwards like this with the brow pencil and create the shape that I want to create before I detailing the eyebrow with the brow marker. You can see that it's pretty light, not too dark for an eyebrow. And you stand a little longer. I just do the same on this side. After that, I'm use the brow marker, and then I just create a few individual hair throughout. I just feel a few little one throughout the hair like that. Next, I'm using the brow frizz from Anastasia as well. To set the brow, you just have a little bit of the gel and you just brush it up, and it will hold the eyebrow all day for you. For eyes, I'm gonna start with the Color Eye Primer, shade medium from NARS. Close your eye for me. And basically, I just want to even the eyelid before I put any color in after. For the eye, I'm going to use the caviar stick from Laura Mercier and the pencil from Hot Slab. All the name and credit, I'm gonna list it everything on the description box, and you guys can check it out, because for me to sit in here reading the name could take a lot of time, so I just want to save the time mainly for the makeup process. To start, I'm using this caviar stick, rimming the eye all over the crease area like this. Remember, this is more like a long wear cream shadow. You can use a liner as well, but most people use this as an eyeshadow. So it's set pretty well, so try to blend as fast as you can. You can see I do a little thicker along the lash line and I blend it up. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And you can see that's all I do, just all the lid like that. Look straight for me. And what I'm gonna do a little bit of this and just doing the outer part of the eye. When I worked with Charlene last week on the shoot and I invite her to join the channel, I asked her, would you like a natural makeup or full-on? And she requests to have a full-on look. So today we're gonna give her a little more makeup than she normally wears. So that's why we're gonna play a lot with the eye makeup today. I'm gonna do the same on the inner corner of the eye area. Instead do a highlight, I'm gonna do a deeper color. And then right now, look down for me. I decide to do a little more on the inner part here. So when she look up, there's still some shadow there. This is a great tip for people who have hooded eye. If you want to have a little more shadow when you open your eye, the best way is just do a little bit more in the corner here. Next, I'm using the House Labs Longwear pencil. This is more like a taupey brown shade. Look down for me. I'm going to rim all over her inner waterline on the upper part. I'm going to apply a thick layer along the upper lash line as well. This way it's going to give her eye a lot of depth, and use a smalling brush, just soften the edges out as well. Next, look straight for me. I'm gonna let the model look this way, and then I'm just gonna follow to trade the line a little bit to make them a little longer and thicker. Close your eye for me. I'm doing the same on the other side. I just did the same on the other side. The way I follow the eye open, this is great for hooded eye. You see she still have that little liner, but you see the shape is slightly different just because you do when the eye look up, and that's always a great way to do with hooded eye. I'm doing the inner part a little here to make it a bit more feline. Look up for me. Keep in mind, if anyone want to try these pencils, they are long wear. What does it mean? It's gonna set really fast. So if you're not a fast blender, use one eye at a time. For me, this pencil dries so fast, even myself find them really fast, so I have to do really, I apply really fast, otherwise you're not gonna be able to blend the liner at all. But the great thing about that is mean that they're gonna last you all day. I think the eye quite sultry. You curl the lashes, put mascara, ready to go. But I want to play with them as I always do. It's always a little more is more, and I'm going to use this new palette from Rowan. This is their more like all the bronzy shades, so I'm gonna use them a little bit of these shades. The first product I'm using, I think I'm gonna use with a big blending brush, but I'm using the gold shade right here, and I'm just gonna use that shade on the inner corner here and blend it out. This texture actually works better if you use fingers, so when you apply yourself, you're gonna find it's very, very easy for you to apply. So you might enjoy that better with your finger application. I'm doing the same on this side. The next product I'm using is the deeper shades. This is a beautiful bronzy shade, and I just apply on the area that I blended out with the caviar stick. And I use this kind of brush so I get way more product deposit. Do the same on the other side. I decide to go even more higher on the inner part here. I think it's great for her to dye. So she still have a lot of shadow when she look up. And then use the brush earlier again with all the color, you just blend out the edges. Next step you use, look up for me, use that shade and you soften the lower part. Just subtle. And then put a little more of the gold in the inner part here. And blend it out. Next, using that shade, look up for me, and deepen the corner. Deepen this corner. Deepen the outer corner. Deepen the outer corner. Then go back, use the brush, and blend it out. I'm going to do lashes after. I'm gonna do the blush. And this is the new blush from House Lab. And it's a beautiful texture. Again, it's quite pigmented. Just use a little bit like I do. I do very little. Turn this way, Charlene. And just apply on the cheek. It has that natural sheen on the blush as well. And apply very little at a time. In this way, you give such a beautiful natural color looking. For highlighter, I'm going to use a beautiful highlighter from Stila. This is actually quite a beautiful, it's been around for a while, so it's not new, but I quite love the formulation. It's quite creamy powder. It's not too dry, which I love. I'm using a fan brush and give Charlene a little radiance everywhere. And this is a great way to apply highlighter without too heavy. You give her a little sheen everywhere. Anywhere that you like, a little on the tip of the nose, on the lips area. For lips, I'm going to use this lip liner from LH Cosmetics and a lipstick from a brand called Sunny Face. It's from the Philippines. That's where Charlene from. And she knows the owner. I think I used this product many times. I love it. You guys can try it. It's a very beautiful matte finish. To start, I'm just lining Charlene lips. And I'm not trying to do a darker or anything like that. Just pretty close to the lipstick. And Charlene have a beautiful lip shape. I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna follow her natural lip shape. I filled in the lip liner a little bit inside the lips. And then I use a lip brush to apply the lipstick. You can apply directly from the bullet if that's your own. Big smile for me. And this is quite a beautiful nude lipstick, especially for people who have olive skin. This is such a beautiful lips color on Charlene. I'm going to do some lashifying off camera and I'll be right back. What I just did is I put a few lashifying. It's more like individual underneath the eye. It's something like this, like the toque, and I'm using more like the D. It's quite volume lashes on Charlene, and I think she looked amazing. To complete the look, I'm going to set her face with the setting spray from One Side Beauty. Close your eye. That is the look, guys. It's such a beautiful look. I think Charlene looked amazing. She wished to have a full makeup look, so that's what we gave her today. Thank you, Jacob, so much for doing a beautiful, gorgeous volume hair on Charlene. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give the channel always a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to follow Charlene, myself, and Jacob on Instagram as well. Thank you so much for watching.